Hi everybody, welcome back. Democracy 3. My god. Somebody in our country has won a Nobel Prize. Our credit rating has once again been downgraded. This is after our last quarter. We finished up with a cabinet reshuffle last episode. Slightly controversial cabinet reshuffle, possibly. But we should be earning a little bit more political capital than we used to per turn or per quarter, which is good. Oh my god, our polls report. Oh my god, what have we done? What have I done? That cabinet reshuffle has made me very, very unpopular. I fired a lot of ministers, I hired a lot of ministers, and then I settled on having a complete cabinet reshuffle. 23% popular. It's taken a huge shit. Health is down, education is down, unemployment is going up, and crime is on the rise as well, surprisingly. I didn't even realize that anything had gone in that would impact any of these areas. Let's see what it says about the Nobel Prize. One of our brightest citizens has won a Nobel Prize for chemistry. Fantastic. Our GDP gets a bit of a bonus. Patriots, liberals, and overall Patriot membership increased due to the fact that this woman who used to be on Scooby-Doo helping solve ghost crimes and stuff like that has won a Nobel Prize. Fantastic. Our credit rating has been downgraded to just B. We went from triple B to double B, and now we're just at single B. The coalition of dinguses is still the largest party, and our cabinet report is considered to be trustworthy and disappointing. Nobody is happy with the new cabinet, unfortunately, and the Battenberg Group, of course, is still running rampant all over the goddamn place. Everyone is very... oh god, look at how fucking pissed everybody is right now. I don't know what's happened there. The deficit has dropped to 52 billion? What the hell? We have 37 fists, though. It's a lot of fists. There's a lot of stuff we can do with 37 fists. Our expenditure is like through the roof. Our income is not very good. I don't know what happened. What did we put in last time? Is it just the cabinet reshuffle that's just like caused this much pandemonium? Look at this. We're so close to the end of our first term, and it's not looking too good. Our popularity is well and truly in the toilet, and not in the best place of the toilet either. It's being flushed down into the unpopular part of the sewage system, and we may not be able to recover it. Religious, once again mad with us. Because of organ donations, abortion laws, gambling, and legalized prostitution. However, it looks like faith school subsidies, school prayers, and the newly incorporated married tax allowance is actually helping out a little bit there. Creationism versus evolution. I said that we probably wouldn't look at this. We're teaching both systems currently in our education system. This is the bitter battle that has raged about the way children are taught evolution versus creationism. Just such a sore point in general in all walks of life. And is not something that I intended to change here either. To appease the religious faction of Canada because of the the lock-on effects? Like targeted lock-on? No, the knock-on effects that it'll have on the liberals and liberalism in general in fake Canada. I call it fake Canada because obviously it's not real Canada. Welfare. Let's implement some stuff in welfare to make people happy again. Everybody likes welfare. Like winter fuel subsidies is unpopular apparently. However, rent controls, look at this. It's going to cost us a little bit, but an alternative to state housing is a system where the state will regulate the private rental market in a bid to ensure the supply of affordable housing for all, even within the private sector. It's a good thing. Overall, it's a fairly good thing to actually have rent controls because sometimes people can really fleece you for renting somewhere. So that's something that we can look at putting in. It's very popular with voters. Food stamps, of course, is also very popular with voters as well. Look at that, 93%. Popularity is something that we are very quickly running out of these days, which is good. Food stamps. Welfare fraud department has potential incomes to be made as well, which is a good thing. When government gives so much money out in welfare payments, it's essential that the money is correctly targeted and not exploited by people making spurious claims. So this is people who are performing welfare fraud. They're living off welfare and maybe they don't need to be, or they're fraudulently getting more welfare payments than they should be. A dedicated fraud department will detect false claimants, recover lost money, and reassure middle-income taxpayers that their taxes are being spent wisely, although it can antagonize legitimate claimants. So it's a bit more red tape for people who legitimately need welfare, but actually having a fraud department around welfare is fairly good, and it's something that we should implement. It's going to cost us 4 fists to implement this initially. It's not a lot, actually. The Conservatives will be happy about this, and middle income will also benefit from this as well. And the poor will not benefit from this, unfortunately. The poor, of course, being people that probably depend on welfare more than, say, the Conservatives and the middle class. TV ad campaigns, is that enough? It's going to make us more, and, well, it almost cancels each other out in terms of income and cost. It's only when the slider starts to go up further that we come out on top. So we could have undercover investigators, which would make us, well, about 62 million a quarter in profit in terms of income. It's going to cost us 204 million per quarter to run this. Mathis Stewart, our new Minister for Welfare, he's 32% effective. He might be carrying a stack of papers and slip on a banana peel and forget about this policy that needs to go in. I think this is a good one, though. We're going to have undercover investigators. Conservatives and middle income are going to be very happy about this, and we're going to make a little bit of money. So let's do it. Welfare Fraud Department has been enacted. Wow. We have 33 man fist points left to play with. Do we want to do anything else around welfare? Most of these... Well, I say most of them are popular. These two are very popular. Food stamps we could put in as well. It's going to cost us 4 man fists to implement this. Of course, food stamps is a system where the state will issue vouchers or stamps to those citizens on low or no income to ensure they are able to afford food. It's not the same as giving a straight cash benefit. Food stamps can only be redeemed for uncooked food, preventing them being used for unhealthy takeaway food. Great. Okay. So we could potentially curb a obesity epidemic through doing or implementing food stamps. Do we want to do it? It's a popular one. It's going to cost us a little bit, but I think it's worth it. Here we go. We're going in with food stamps. Look at how many people become happy because of this as well. Health gets a boost. Poor earnings get a boost. The poor get a big boost. Poverty is decreased, which is good. Socialists love this. Farmers' income is increased. Farmers is increased, and equality is increased. Wham! We'll go in. We'll go in big. It's going to cost us 1.31 billion a quarter, but we're going to start tackling poverty, helping out the poor and stuff, which will have knock-on effects towards homelessness, which is actually an issue in our fair country at this very moment. Mathis Stewart, once again, please implement this. Try not to screw it up if you can, please, Mathis. Look at Mathis. He's got a face that you just cannot trust. That's not a trustworthy face. He looks like he's got some chewing tobacco in his mouth as well. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right. We're applying that. Food stamps and welfare fraud department. Not bad. We still have a lot of points left to deal with as well. Transport's not something that we've actually looked at, and there may be some money to be made there as well. Potential incomes on any of these. Hello, incomes? No, I lied. There's no money to be made except for satellite road pricing in transport. Public services, economy, small business grants. Is there any, easy money to be made off any of these? Doesn't look like it. Foreign policy, import tariffs. There we go. Cheap imports can be damaging to the economy because local companies cannot match the lower salaries paid by foreign competitors. Import tariffs help to protect local manufacturers from unfair competition. This does go against real free market economics, though, and can be seen as being unfair to foreign countries, possibly sparking retaliation. Not something that we really want. However, it can make us a whopping 182 million a quarter. Not really the best, actually. Tax, is there anything else that we can put in here? We really want to get this carbon tax. It's going to cost us 39 political man fisting points to introduce, of which I think we get 37. We may want to end this turn with a little bit left over, if possible, to make up for the fact that maybe political capital is coming down from all of our cabinet people guys. School tax credits, nothing. Look, there's what's that? Junk food tax. It's a little bit unpopular and can possibly make some money. A plastic bag tax. Here we go. Here's one that we can do. Do we want to do that? We can now afford to do the internet tax, hybrid cars initiative, graduate tax. Graduate tax is a dedicated tax levy purely on people graduating from university as a way of them contributing to the cost of their university tuition. So this is presuming that actually we've subsidized massively their tuition, but then they have to pay some sort of tax. Airline tax. Airline fuel has generally not been subject to taxation. Supporters of air fuel tax insist that this results in an unfair subsidy on an environmentally destructive form of transport. Look at all the income that we can make off this. The airlines point out that taxing airline fuel will just encourage them to refuel elsewhere, thereby diverting funds from our economy. There's always pros and cons to every single thing, isn't there? Jeez, healthcare vouchers. Look at all of these costs. Arts subsidies. Here we go. This is a good one. Investing public money in the arts is controversial with capitalists who see it as supporting uneconomic elitist entertainment. But others see it as vital to a country's culture, boosting our image on the world stage and attracting tourists. There we go. It's going to cost us a little, but we can get tourists in and make some money off of them, which should be very good, actually. 68% popular with voters as well. Arts subsidies. This is a public service, apparently. Let's check it out. Harold Gilmore, we're going to put you to the test. Steve Martin, can you do it? Let's see. Liberals, foreign relations, tourism, education, and liberalism all in general benefit from this, and capitalists do not like it. So we're investing in theaters, an art gallery we can invest in, or an opera house. Let's just go big. We're going to go big on this one, and we're going to invest in one opera house. I'm assuming that it's going to be multiple opera houses, actually, but you never know. Harold Gilmore, make it so. There we go. That's like 3 popular policies we've implemented now. I think everybody here should be generally quite happy with that. Also, our popularity should rise. I think that's going to be a good thing. Do we want to see about maybe raising or re-raising? What are some of these taxes? Property tax? It's at 23%. It's fairly unpopular. Middle earnings, high earnings, capitalists, middle income, retired, all become less happy the more we raise this. It's currently making us $3.52 billion. Do we want to increase this to like 30% so that we can make $4.4 billion? We can't even. We can't raise it. I don't have enough fist points to do that. It might be one that we need to consider. What about fuel tax? Or this is sales tax, actually. Oh, look at sales tax. It's not one that I've looked at recently, actually. Poor earnings, middle earnings, tourism, and equality, all being affected by sales tax. Capitalists and self-employed also hate sales tax, and poverty is being boosted by the sales tax as well. Look at that. So as we lower sales tax in general, everybody becomes happier. We make less income. We're currently making $9.81 billion a quarter. Should we raise this a little bit more so that we can make some more money? 15% sales tax. Holy shit, that is a lot. That's a high sales tax. I don't know if I want to increase this to like 20%. I mean, it's a lot of money. It'll take away from the deficit, but people will be pretty mad. Let's not touch sales tax for now. What's this? Is this like subsidies for like micro generation grants? Energy efficiency, the environment, and reduces CO2 emissions and is good for environmentalists. It's costing us, Maya Martin, 21% effective. Oh, God. Hey, what's this one? Oh, that's the merit tax allowance. I didn't even realize. That's the icon threw me a bit there, actually. I don't think there's anything else that we can implement in tax, and we still have 16 man points left to work with. What's this? This is, I think this is agriculture subsidies, having a negative impact on health, and also a negative impact on capitalists, but brings down unemployment, which is a good thing. Farmers, farmer membership, farmer income, health, capitalist unemployment. It's costing us. Do we want to like lower this a bit more? It's going to cost us 10 man points, and let's like lower this completely. Farmers, don't we don't really care too much about making them happy. Unemployment will go up. Capital. Oh god, this is not a good one to change. We're not changing this one. Man, I'm running out of stuff to change. I feel like I'm running out of stuff to change. I feel like I'm running out of ways to potentially make money as well. Let's go to the next quarter and see. We've made a lot of changes this time, and I know we still have 16 man fist points left to play with this time around, but I'm keen to see if we've made any sort of big changes off the back of this. It'll be interesting to see. Next quarter. Oh my god. Here we go. We're preparing sound bites and compiling misleading statistics. Oh shit. Ah, look at that. GDP is improving. Poverty is going down. Unemployment, health, and education, and crime all remain the same. We have an urgent policy question concerning fracking. Holy frack. I had to say it. I'm sorry. Hydraulic fracturing, better known as fracking, is a new drilling technology that allows energy companies to exploit previously unreachable deposits of shale gas. Lots of fracking. Controversially, I think there was some fracking that was happening in Britain a while back and was causing like some earthquakes, and people were like fairly concerned that like the end of the world was coming, but it was just some fracking. It's a bit of a controversial one, actually. Allow fracking. This bill will give the go-ahead to energy companies to carry out commercial-level fracking operations on our soil. This is great news for consumers, as it will drive energy prices down and will reduce our dependence on foreign imports of oil and gas. Plus, it will be a boost for the economy. What's not to like? And the argument for banning fracking is fracking poses a number of dangers, not least the possibility that it is linked to earthquakes and the very real danger of contaminating the water supply, as it involves pumping huge quantities of dangerous chemicals into the rock at very high pressures. Wow. Plus, this is just another way to perpetuate our reliance on ever-dwindling supplies of climate-damaging fossil fuels. Well, our economy could use a boost. I'm all for digging dirt and crap out of the ground and making money off of it, as you may well know. So we're going to do it. We're going to allow fracking. Why the frack not? There we go. We've done it. We're back. We're rising again. Very slowly, but very surely we are rising. Our credit rating is still bad. The election report says that we have the largest party membership, which is good. We still got the Battenberg crew on our backs. Trustworthy and disappointing, according to the cabinet report. And the global economy is still in recession, and 47% of the vote in an election. So we continue to gain popularity, hopefully. Let's see how that has been. Whoa, my God. What a dip. Holy, what a fucking dip. Our peak value is 73%. Our current value is 46.5%. That's a pretty big climb, actually, after all the stuff that we did last turn. Great. Okay, look, we've done it. We've gotten rid of all the unhappy red. Once again, we're back into greens and yellows. Popularity is sort of approaching 50% once again, which is good. How are we doing? Our productivity has received a little boost once again. How is health doing? It's leveling off a little bit. It took a little bit of a dip, but it seems to be back on the rise for whatever reason. It'd be interesting to see how this tobacco tax, oh my God, so bad. Tobacco usage is probably at an all-time, oh, look at that. People are still buying outrageous amounts of tobacco, despite the fact that there's a 50% tax imposed on it. Holy crap. I think people in Canada have way more disposable income than they need, if that's the case. Jesus Christ. We have 43 man fist points. We can do this. We can finally tax CO2 emissions. It's going to be great. The carbon tax is going to be great. It's an unpopular one, but it's going to make us some money. It's going to cost us 39 super fists to implement. Gonna do it. Fucking doing it. A carbon tax. Look at that. Environmentalists and energy efficiency all get a huge hit. CO2 emissions go down. GDP goes down. Everyone is unhappy. Air travel goes down, and capitalists go down. That is assuming that we decide on a 38% carbon tax, which we're not going to be doing. That's way too high. We want to bring that down to, like, say, 10%. which still gives us an income of 6.18 billion per quarter, which is very good, and doesn't have any of the severe ramifications that I just mentioned. GDP takes a little bit of a hit. Everyone in air travel take a bit of a hit. CO2 emissions still go down, and environmentalists and energy efficiencies both still go up. Maya Martin, this is the first time you'll be implementing anything for us, and I gotta say, I'm fairly happy about this one. We're only going to have 4-man fist points left after this, but I think this is going to be a good one. It's a little bit unpopular, but I think it's going to be good. It's going to definitely bring the deficit down, and it needs to come down by 6 billion. So, you know, not too bad. Okay, great. We can skip through to the next turn straight away because there's nothing else that we can really do with 4 super fists. Setting up biased academic groups. Holy shit. GDP has risen, unemployment's on its way down, health, education, crime, and poverty all remain the same. Extradite a terror suspect. Oh, it's always fun to extradite a terror suspect, and it's going to have a fairly good impact on our foreign relations as well. Foreign relations really depend on you complying with extradition requests, I think, anyway. So we're going to do it. We're going to extradite this guy, this suspect, and send him to wherever he needs to go to face whatever trial or whatever, and then we're going to forget completely about him. We're doing it. It's done. Great. Are we popular again? We are. 55%. Just. We've gone up. Great. Even though it was 9% unpopular to implement that CO2 emission tax, it's fine. What's this? Passable. Trustworthy and passable. We've gone up from disappointing. The cabinet report. Election report. We're still the largest party. The Battenberg guys are still after us. Global economy is still in recession, and our credit rating has not changed. Great. All right. Great. Environmentalists. Why? Why would you be becoming unhappy? We've got petrol tax, we've got microgeneration grants, we now have a new carbon tax that we're making like a big amount of money off of, and clean energy subsidies, but still you're unhappy. It's probably because of road building, also pollution, CO2 emissions, and the environment. Well, CO2 emissions should be coming down now with this tax enabled anyway, so that should be fine. Great. 30-man fist points to deal with. We will deal with those next episode. We've probably done enough for this episode for now anyway. So, as usual, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.